Okay, year 11. So we've come to the point now where we've got our design. So this time it's all about design development. So what is the difference between this and then going on to a design development sheet? Right, so if that's one of my ideas, the first thing I'm going to do is just to trace it through, and then I'm going to show you how to develop it. So again, I'm just very quickly going to trace it through, and then we'll talk a little bit about development. Okay, so first thing we can look at is obviously the shape. So we've got rounded edges here, around the top. So the first thing I could do is do some development sketches of different shapes. So I could pull this off here, and then I could do a little sketch of what that might look like. So I could do a more rounded one, like so, or I could do like so. Then I might have a simple handle here, I might have a handle here, and a handle here. So again, that's just experimenting with types that you want to do. So you could pull this off here, types of handles. So you could have that type of handle, or you could, of course, have a handle that's got grips onto it. Okay, and then, again, you need to make sure you annotate all this, and you need to annotate all this. I'm not going to do the annotation. So then we come to something like this, which is the shelf. And what we want to do here is we've got to think about, well, how on earth, there's my shelf that's going to join here, how on earth is that shelf going to join there? So again, I can pull an arrow off just here, and I want to try and to explain how that shelf is going to fix together. Well, I can draw a little side view of this panel here. Okay, so a number of ways we can do that. You could do some doweling. Okay, I could draw another sketch just here, and this time I could rebate this into the wood. So, experimenting with construction, experimenting with different handles. Then on the base here, I've got this little lip here that's been where my iPad and that is going to stand up. So again, it's a question of, well, how on earth is that going to be, developed? And again, if I pull an arrow out here, all right, I could draw a side view of how that's going to be done. And you probably use some kind of ball nose router. All right, to cut that out. But again, some things you might need to think about, well, how on earth is, am I going to do that? I might need to ask the teacher. Different construction methods, you look back at your research, different types of sides, different types of handles, different types of materials, so you can start to list down materials, a bit of pine, bit of mahogany, bit of MDF. Okay, you can think about different types of finishes. So you can do wax or varnish. So again, we're just experimenting as we're going along. And then one thing you can obviously think about is sizes. So you might say, here's my dimensions here. So this is going to be approximately 330, that's millimeters, and this is going to be 350. So that is all to do with your development. It's about drawing your idea in the middle, whether it's the same idea or slightly different, two ideas combined, and then it's about pulling off and experimenting with different areas. You could even do something like this, where you focus on an area, put it into a little bit of a bubble, and you could do like a little exploded drawing if you wanted to. You know, how's this going to go together? well, there's my dowel in there, and it's going to go into this piece of wood. I'm going to have 2 holes here, and that's going to fit nicely into there. Okay, just to give you an idea of how that's going to go together. Add annotation, add colour, jazz it up as much as you can.